Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Hi, thank you so much for joining, guys. We haven't started yet. Don't worry. We have an amazing turnout. So we're just going to wait for one more minute to have some more people join us. So I'll say we'll start in about 1 minute. In the meantime, guys, if you see the chat box in the meeting, I see that some of you already wrote us. If you could please write to me where you're from, what industry you're from. So it's, going to be super interesting to see where all of us are located in the world. I'm here in Tel Aviv, Israel. So obviously we're doing this webinar today for customer support, but it's really interesting to see what industry you're from. So wow, we have a lot of people, an amazing turnout from the US, I see, from Europe, Canada, amazing. So we have consulting teams, we have medical teams. Hi, Shira from Israel. Let's see. Wow, amazing. Guys, thank you for the Israel love. I love you guys too. Seattle, Colorado, amazing. Texas, wow, amazing, guys. These are super interesting and cool locations. Makes me want to go and travel there. Okay, guys, so I think we can go ahead and start. Yeah, I think we can start. It's 2 minutes after 11 EST, so I think we'll just go ahead and start. So first of all, thank you all for joining. Thank you for this amazing turnout. I'm super excited to host this webinar. So welcome, and my name is Dana, and I'm a customer success manager here at monday.com. Can you all see my screen? My screen with the presentation in purple with my name on it? Okay, cool. Yep, all right, thank you. I can see your answers, amazing. So today we're going to cover the best practices for using monday.com for customer support teams. So I see that we have really a lot of industries here. So I think it's going to be interesting and relevant for all of you. And I think you'll get a chance to see how flexible the software and the tool really is. So you can actually do it. And this is really one of the great things that we value here at Monday, the extreme flexibility. And actually, while we're on it, I know most of you have already started using monday.com, but I'll just give you my little speech, okay? It won't take too long. Just tell you what Monday is all about. So monday.com is a lot of things to a lot of different people, but mainly Monday is a team collaboration and communication platform. Monday transforms the way you manage your team and your workflow. And today we'll be looking at customer support workflows and template boards for managing all aspects of support teamwork while focusing on more advanced features and columns. So I'm assuming everyone here already knows the basics of monday.com. And if not, you can always watch the recording once you've had some more time familiarizing yourself with the platform. And of course, by the way, we'll send this recording to everyone who registered to the webinar within 24 hours. I see someone wrote okay. Waiting for your responses in the chat. Okay. Cool. You can all hear me and see my screen. Amazing. Okay, guys. So what exactly are we going to cover today? So today we're going to talk about a few workflows in the customer support board that I've made for you. We're going to talk about some advanced columns, look at some board views, talk about automations, integration, but mostly, we're going to talk about templates like CS organizations. We're going to talk about shift boards. We're going to see how we can send to our clients customer satisfaction surveys. And we're going to talk about dashboards. At the end of the webinar, we're going to have about half an hour or maybe 25 minutes time for Q&A, so live questions and answers. My colleague Jessica is also here. Guys, sorry, I'm just seeing it that I keep breaking up. Let me try and fix that. Can you all hear me breaking up? Okay, so let me see if there's something wrong with my internet. I can see that I am connected. Okay, so um, let me see. Okay, so I see a lot of you are writing that it's fine for you guys. So if you guys are having some issues hearing me, maybe if you can go to a better location with better internet connection. Um, because I see that most of you can hear me fine. I don't know, some of you are saying that you can hear me, some of you to say can't hear me, so I'll just keep on and I'll send you guys the recording after, um, just in case, okay? Good, so I'll try to carry on and all those of you who can't hear me very well, just try to go to a better place with better connection because I see most of you that are hearing me good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to my Monday account. Let me just exit this and see my account. Okay, guys, so welcome to my monday.com account. I'm gonna dive right into our use cases. So for today, like I said, I prepared a few boards that are useful for a customer support department. So this is the first board that we're going to talk about today. So let's, we'll start from something a little bit basic. This is a board that I use to organize all of my customer support employees. Now, in many cases, support or customer support is the biggest department in a company. And you may have support workers, both in physical offices and also working remotely or in a different location, maybe. So this board over here gives you the ability to be on top of where people are, what level they are at, and if you have, sub teams within the customer support team, and this gives you kind of another layer and seeing the difference in the different teams. So let's quickly go over this board and see what we have here. So we have the CS organization board. The way that I did it is I divided my groups into sub teams inside the customer support team. So I have here a group for general announcements. I'll talk about it in a second. Then I divided my groups into the employees that belong to leadership, supervisors, senior associates, and junior associates. Of course, you already know that monday.com is extremely flexible. So you guys can do whatever you want. And this is just an example. So you can divide it completely in a different way. It's completely up to you and the workflow that you have in your company. Now, every item, every row is an employee, and every column basically an information about this employee. So let's go over the columns to see what I chose to put here. So obviously I have here a person column that shows me basically who is the manager. I have an auto number column just to see how many employees I have in a glance, right? So I don't have to count them. So I see I have 3 people in leadership, 3 people in supervisors, and so on. I have here an item ID column that can represent an employee ID, or you can also do a text column to manually write the employee ID. I have here a status column to show the availability. So I can see here my employees and I can choose the status column. As you can see, I'm not using the status column for its traditional use. I'm actually using it to see the availability. So I put here whether this employee is working full-time or part-time, right? Because sometimes in customer support, not everyone are working full-time. So this can be quite important. I have a date column to show the birthday and the date of hire. So this is quite important because sometimes in customer support or in a company in general, we want to celebrate an employee's birthday or an employee's anniversary, once they complete 1 year in the company. So this can help me come here and refer to that and then send them the gift or just, send like an email of celebration. Here I have a tenure. So I can see how long this employee has been with us. So I don't actually have to calculate how much time has been since July 7. In this case, I'm actually using the formula column, okay? Guys, the formula column is, similar to Excel formulas where we have, when we need to make calculations or we want to draw conclusions. So this is what the formula column is for, and this is extremely useful. In this case, I created a pretty basic formula to basically calculate how long has it been since this date until the date of today. So here I can see that this tenure is 2 years and 3 months. This is a pretty basic formula, but if you guys need any help building your formulas, you have amazing articles in the knowledge base. Sorry, just type formula, and you can see a list of all of the available formulas that we have. So you can just copy paste your formula here and get the results. Let's see what else we have. So I have here an email column in the email that belongs to my employee. I have his phone number, location. Like we said, maybe I'm managing my customer support team in different locations, so I want to report that. And I have here a tag column. Why am I using a tag column? Because a tag column is very useful when I want to categorize or bring, a few items from different boards all together. So in this case, I chose to use the tag column to tag the team that this employee belongs to. So for example, I have here Team Dan. If I click on it, it will take me to this view, which we call the search everything, that you can also access from clicking on the magnifying glass. And this will actually show you everything that is tagged with the tag Team Dan. And you will see it in one screen from all across your board, and you can change everything from here, change the status, write an update. So really do everything from here, so you don't actually have to click, and go board by board. Now, guys, sorry if I forgot to mention it in the beginning, but if you guys have questions, please put them in the Q&A box. Like I said, my colleague Jessica is there to answer your questions in the meantime, because I don't think I'm gonna have time to answer all of them. So in the meantime, Jessica from the customer success team will be able to answer. So just make sure to put them in the Q&A box and not the chat box. Thank you, guys. Okay. Lastly, we have a files column where, as you can see, I have here an example of uploading a file. So this can be maybe the contract of this employee. So I have a board that organizes everything that I need in one place. Now, let's talk about some automations. What can I do here to basically prevent myself from having to work for the system and making the system work for me, right? So all those manual actions, I want to turn them into an automatic actions. So over here on the top right, I'm going to click on automations, right? So let's say in our department, in the customer support department, I want to celebrate my employee's birthday, or I want to celebrate their anniversary. So again, instead of actually checking here the tenure or the date of hire or the birthday, I will want to do this automatically to save time. So I'll go here to automations, and I will create an automated reminder every time the date arrives. Okay, so for those of you who don't know our automations, I definitely recommend coming here, watching this super short video here on the left on how to automate. But basically here we can find many recipes that can make all those manual actions automatic. So for example, I want to look at due dates, and I want to choose the automation when date arrives, notify someone. So I'm going to create an automation that says, when date arrives at 9 a.m., when the birthday arrives, I want to notify someone. Here I can write my message. This is the message that's going to be in the notification. So I'm going to say, hi, CS manager, right? Or I can also switch that by personalizing it. And I can say, hi, username. Please note that it is whose birthday. So we're going to take the person column. So the item name basically, right? Because the item name is our employee. So please note that this is employee's birthday today. And who am I going to notify? I'm going to notify the assignee column, the person column. So in this case, it's going to be the manager. So when the birthday arrives, the manager is going to receive a notification. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the board. So let's say that the manager here in this case is Ron. Ron is going to get a notification whenever employee number 2 will reach the date of the birthday. Okay, so this is one automation that can definitely save you time. Another thing that can be useful is perhaps email integration. So if you go ahead and open up the integrations, In addition to automations, we also have the integrations. And the integrations integrate with external tools as well. So our integrations allow you guys to connect monday.com to external platforms. Like you can see here, all the different platforms that we have to connect with. This is done by using predefined integration flows in order to connect everything in a simple way into one place, into your monday.com account. So let's take an example, the email integration. So I'm using Gmail. So for example, what can be useful for me is to have an integration that says this, for example. No, sorry, not this. I want a due date, something with the date. Let's see, this one. So we can say when date arrives and status is something, send an email to someone. So we can say whenever the date of the birthday arrives, send an email to the employee, right, to the email column that we see on the board, and we can write the text. Let me show you how it looks like. So we want to say when date arrives. So let's say the same date at 11 when the birthday arrives, and status, let's say the availability is full-time. Okay, I only want this to apply to full-time workers, for example. I want to send an email. So this is how the email is going to look like. I'm going to type my subject and I can type my email over here. So I can just type and say, happy birthday. The CS team wants to wish you a happy birthday. Please come and collect your gift from your manager today, right? So I can have this type of integration, and then the one who has a birthday will receive an email to the email that I have written over here. I definitely encourage you guys to use it. We obviously have a lot of other recipes in the email integration. So this can also, you can also create like email reminders or notifications to remind the managers, you know, every time period. So I don't know, every quarter, to remind them to do their quarterly review, their weekly review. So you can really play around and dig in and see what other automations you guys can use. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done with this board. Let's go and talk about my other boards. So now I want to talk about shifts, some different use cases of shifts. Now, many CS, many customer support teams work in shifts, as we know. And this is one of the most important processes to manage in the customer support team. And to ensure that everyone knows when they're expected to work, and to manage, you know, changes, and to do everything transparently and professionally, actually monday.com is an amazing tool, an amazing place to achieve that. So I have a few examples of how you can manage shifts with monday.com, depending on how you structure your team's working hours. Okay, so again, this is just these few examples that I'm going to show you, just going to show you how flexible the tool and the platform really is. So let's see the different examples that I have. I have one version for weekly shifts. So this is a board that basically schedules weekly shifts. So I named every group a specific week. So this is July 1st, this is July 10th. And every item, as you can see, is a day of the week. I also added here a date column. I added the date column so that we can add automations, right? So we can say, you know, when the date arrives, please notify all board subscribers, or we can do one day before date arrives, or, but you know, you can use this date column to create many due date automations. So, and every column, as you can see, is the hour of the shift. So let's say you can also use the filter, right? So let's say that I'm an employee and I want to see my shift. So I'm just going to type here, Dana, and I'm going to see in blue, when am I working? So I see Monday, I'm working 7 to 4. Wednesday, I'm working 8 to 5. And Thursday, I'm 10 to 7. Okay, so you can see that. So the filter actually can be super helpful for you guys here. And by the way, you can also save the filter. Okay, let's say that you want to look at it in a more advanced way. So if you want to see all of your shifts, or sorry, I want to look at it, sorry guys, from a more advanced look, I'm going to click here on filter, and I can choose to say, I want to see everything that is only for me. And I can save this as a new view. And I can just call it Dana. And then every time I come to this board, I can actually look at the main table, or I can just look at everything that is assigned to me. So I have a clear idea, you know, of what my shifts are, and I don't need to keep searching myself. And so it's a lot more convenient that way. Another thing that can be very useful at monday.com for shifts is actually the ability to add mention each other. So let's say that I'm working on Monday 7 to 4, but I actually want to switch with James. So I'm just going to open this update and I'm going to add mention him. I'm going to say, James, can you switch shift, please? I'm going to create an update, and James is going to receive a notification here on the bell notification from me saying that Dana tagged him, and he's going to see my message. James, can you switch shifts? And then he can just reply to me and tell me if he can switch or not. And then I can just come here, you know, and I can delete myself and add James. So this is another thing that is very useful. Let's see some other versions of this weekly shift. We can also do it in a different way. Here I also divided my shifts into, my groups into weeks. But in this, I did it differently. I chose the items to be the hours of the shift, and I chose the column to be the day of the week. So it's pretty much the same, but it's really up to you guys what's more comfortable for you to look at and how you prefer it. Let's take a look of daily shifts. So what happens if you guys want to drill down and actually manage your daily shifts? So you're going to split your groups into days in this case, right? So this is Monday, this is Tuesday. And every item is actually the person, the employee that is currently working. And I have also a person column. By the way, guys, I see some people are still writing some questions in the chat box. Make sure to write them in the Q&A so Jessica can answer you. Okay, so I have a person column for the leader, the shift leader, and I have a column to see who is the employee, so who is working. I created a status column to say if he's on shift or is working from home or is he sick. I have the date of the shift over here. And I also have the time tracking column. So the time tracking column can be super useful if you guys want your employees or your managers to check in or check out, you know, so they can clock in, and then at the end of the shift, they can come here and they can clock out. And you can click here to see all the time sessions that they added. They can also add a session manually in case they forgot. So the time tracking column can also be useful for you guys. Another thing that can be useful, let's say that Ron, as you can see, he was sick on his shift. And you know, when you're sick, you have to bring in a sick note. So he can also click here to add a sick note. So sorry for not arriving. I had, I don't know, a stomach ache, okay? And then he can add a file from the computer, from Google Drive, and he can add a sick note over here to this note and update it. And then it's always gonna be saved over here, and you guys can see, you know, why was he sick, and also view the sick note. So this can be, you know, a centralized place. You can come back and see, I don't remember what happened on October 22nd. Oops, sorry. On October 22nd, and then I can see what happened. So this is another useful function. Let's see another version that I have. So this is another version of the daily shifts. Here again, I'm splitting my groups into days. Every item is still a person, an employee. I have a person column. This time the status column is reflecting the shift. So is this a morning shift, an evening shift? Is he on vacation, sick? And this time I didn't use the time tracking. I actually used the hour column. Okay, we also have an hour column. So I can put here my time. So this, I worked from, let's say 7 to 4. And this column is actually a formula column. So I created a basic formula to tell me the hours difference between end time and start time, between these two hour column. So it automatically calculates how much time I worked. So I don't need to manually calculate how much time is it between 7 to 4. So I can also change it to 7 to 10, for example. Maybe I left early. So you can see here, guys, I only worked 3 hours. So this is another useful function with the hours column, okay? If you guys were not familiar with that. Now, guys, remember I said that I'm going to talk about the general announcements. So here is what I meant. Let's say that you have a shifts board and you want to notify everyone on the board about a specific something. The way that I like to do it is I like to create a group on the top of every board, and I like to call it general announcements or general talks. And if I want to notify everyone on this board, instead of sending individual email to everyone or I don't know, an email to everyone, we want to manage everything at Monday, right, in the platform. So in this group that you created, you can just use it for general announcements. So you can just tag everyone on this board and say, hey guys, remember to fill in your sick notes for November, for example. Okay, and then once you update, everyone who are subscribed to the board are going to get this notification. Remember guys, the subscribers are managed from here. You can always add a subscriber from here, or you can even add an entire team. Okay, so let's say I want to add a specific team. I'm just going to add a team. Now I want to show you another board for shifts for hourly scheduling. So what happens if you guys have your customer support shift, but you want to manage them by the hours? So in this case, let's see what I have. Every group is a day. So this is Monday. Every item is an hour of the day. So I have a shift running from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. How exactly do I do that? Every person, I chose status columns to represent a person. So as you can see, for example, Naomi is working from 8 to 7, and she has from 8 to 10, she's doing tickets. She's answering tickets to customers. Then she has 2 hours of phones. Then she's going to lunch, and so on and so forth. So the way to do that is to just add multiple status columns and change the labels accordingly. So this is another way that you can use that. Here, for example, I used a formula column to calculate. I used this formula column. It looks like a lot, but it's pretty easy. I just used the if function. And I said, if tickets is on, then count it as 1. So as you can see here, I'm counting how many agents are on tickets. So I have 1, 2, 3 agents on tickets. If I change this to 4, now I see 4 agents on tickets. You guys can definitely use the if function in the formula column to count, things like that. If not for shifts, for anything that might be relevant for you guys. Okay, let's move on to our next board. So like I said before, if you're working with many other platforms and you want to consolidate your work, you can use monday.com as your own personal working hub. So basically put everything in one place. I'm going to talk about Zendesk Integration now. So this is a board that I created and that I integrated Zendesk with. For those of you who are not familiar with Zendesk, Zendesk is an external ticketing team. An external ticketing system. So if some of you are using Zendesk in customer support, if you want to keep track outside of Zendesk and you want to keep track of important tickets that to bring into your monday.com account, or let's say if in this example, I created a Zendesk integration for billing tickets. So let's look at the integration that I made. I'm gonna click here on the plug to open up the integrations. Because I already have one, it's opening up the ones that I have. If you wanna create a new one, just click here and you'll see all the integrations. So my Zendesk integration is this. When a ticket, and what ticket? So when the subject of the ticket includes billing, okay, is submitted. So when a billing ticket is submitted, create an item and sync future changes from Zendesk. So what is actually going on here? I have a board with the title of the group tickets that I need to review. Okay, so let's think about, I have a team of customers, but actually all of the billing tickets, I don't need it to go to customer support. I need it to go to another team, a financial team, for example. So if you're subscribing on this board, your financial team, they will actually get immediately all of the tickets that are tagged or subjected as billing. These items that you see is the subject on Zendesk. So I have a user who wrote billing questions, and that's why it went here. If I open this item in the update section, I'm going to see the actual question of the customer. Okay, so you can see here, good morning, we received this billing question, so on and so forth. We have here, once we create the integration, it will create a column with the actual link of the ticket, which means that if I click on this link now, it will open up Zendesk with this ticket so I can answer it. So this actually, can be very useful for you guys if you have specialized teams outside of customer support that are in charge of a specific topic. So you can just create a board for them, create the integration, choose exactly, what tickets will come in to this board, and go like this. By the way, guys, to set up this integration, you must be an admin on the Zendesk account that you use. So just an FYI. If you guys need any more help or questions about integrations or specific Zendesk integration, just click here on the support center, just write down Zendesk or integrations and you'll get all the information, or of course, contact us. Okay, awesome. I wanna move on to my last board, customer satisfaction. So, oops, sorry, let me just close this and we'll talk about it in a second. So this is my customer satisfaction board. This is the way of me showing you how we can also use monday.com as an external tool to also work with other clients, but from within the platform. So one of the best ways for support teams to measure their success is by sending a customer satisfaction survey after speaking with a customer. So we can do this actually right here from monday.com using the forms view. What exactly is the forms view and how do we access it? Just click here on main table, add view, more views. For those of you who don't know, this is our view center. So the view center allows you to watch your table board in a different way, in a more visualized way. So for example, if you want to watch your board from all the locations, all the files you uploaded as a timeline view, a calendar view, or a form view, which is what I'm going to talk about right now. What exactly is the form view? The form view allows you to convert a Monday board. Okay, so we're going to convert this board that you see right here to an actual form. Once you convert it to a form, you can actually share it not only with your team, with people from the account, but also with external people as well, so like customers. So you can actually send this form as a survey to your clients, or you can also embed it in your site or embed it in your email. So when I create the board, okay, just like in this example, I created the board, I can turn each column into a question of the form. Now, don't worry, because we can obviously change the name of the columns, so the name of the question, sorry. So you don't actually have to put the column name as the question. And let me show you exactly how it looks like. So I click here on main table and I already prepared a board for us. So I can see here the C form, and this is how it looks like. This is the form. So as you can see, this is the column service. So the column is called service, but my question, I obviously changed it. So how would you rate the service you got today? And this, I used the rating column, and I just changed the rating column from here to show hearts instead of stars, but you can do it whatever you want. So once I basically edited my form, I can make this a required question, or some columns, for example, let me see, for example, a comment or a sentiment, I can also hide it from the form if I don't want this to appear. So if you're creating your board and you're creating multiple columns, don't worry, because you can hide some columns and they won't appear. Once you're done with your form, you can actually also add your account logo over here. So to have like a branding, you can also click here on the right to view the settings. So you can choose, you know, once they submit the form, what message will appear. So in this case, we say, thank you, your answer was submitted successfully. And I can click here on share form. And like I said, I have two options. I can send it as a shareable link, or I can embed it on my website. So I can, let me just show you guys how this looks. So I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to paste it here. So take a look. So this is how the form is going to look like. Every time someone will submit a form, it will be added as a new item on your board. So for example, your name, Dana Test. How was your service? It was amazing. Your product, amazing. Experience, amazing. And I'm going to add a note, amazing webinar, Dana. You know, I'm totally legitimate to give feedback to myself. So now we're going to exit it. And let's go back to our main table and let's see. You see, this was added as a new item. I can see here Dana Test. I can see my answers. I can see the comment that I put in. And I can see also who created the log. This is all or only in case you're sending the form internally. Otherwise, of course, you will not see the customer's name here because it's not a Monday user. Another thing you can use with this survey, you can also use email integration. Let's see why. So every customer that submitted the customer satisfaction form, you can also add an item ID. So I'm going to add another column and I'm going to add item ID. The item ID is giving you a unique ID to each item. So this item ID can actually be my reference number. This can be a reference number of the customer satisfaction. This can also work for you guys if you're managing not just customer satisfaction, but if you're managing tickets, for example. So if you're sending this form to, I don't know, escalate this with another department outside of CS, and you want to send, the reference ID to the customer. So you can create an email integration. And you can say, when a new item is created, send an email to someone. So in this case, I can have to send an email, and the email can actually contain the reference number. So I can type my email, you know, and I can say, thank you for submitting your customer satisfaction or your ticket. Here is your reference number, right? And then I can just click here to the reference ID, and it will actually show the reference ID. So you guys can use this if you're creating kind of like a ticketing system inside monday.com. This can also be an option. Another thing I want to show you is the chart view. The chart view can also show you your table view in a more analytic view. So if you want to see kind of like the overview of what's going on, how many overall stars or hearts did you get of your service? You can obviously, as you can see here, I chose to filter it, what's relevant for my service, and then I save it. I can save it as a new view. So you can actually create here, you know, multiple chart views, multiple form views, and use it in a very, you know, in different ways. Let's go back to the main table. Okay, guys, so actually the last thing that I want to talk about now is the dashboards. And I do want to show you how work. I'm going to show you like a quick view. And if you want to get more info after on the dashboards, we have an amazing article. So just a quick, you know, what is a dashboard? What are the dashboards? So the dashboards actually facilitate your entire workflow to make sure you get relevant insights from everything that's happening across all your boards. So basically, if you want to get a high-level view of everything that is important to you across multiple boards, this can be an amazing tool. It's great for reporting purposes, to manage and see who, how well is the team performing, if you want to set goals, measure success, and so on. So let's see an example here. I created a dashboard for the customer satisfaction. Now, the way that dashboards work, they basically, like I said, contain information from multiple boards. If you are on the Pro plan, you can bring together up to 10 boards. If you're on the Standard plan, you could bring together up to 3 boards. So in this example, we have here the numbers, and this is the average of how many stars or hearts I got, you know, from 1 to 5 in my customer satisfaction form. So I can see here the average that I got for the service is 2.4, product 2.5, and overall 3.4. How did I do that exactly? So the way the dashboard works is by adding widgets on the dashboards. I can click here on add widget, and I have here multiple widgets. So I can add a chart view, just like you can see here. I added a chart view to basically show me how many stars did I get. So for example, you can see here, 40% gave me 4 stars, 17% gave me 5 stars, and so on and so forth. So to add a widget, just click here. You can also click on more, and you can see here all the different widgets that we have. Here, I added a numbers widget. So let's just see the settings of the widget so we can understand better. When we add a widget, the first thing we need to do is to choose what boards do you want to connect and bring together. Then you can choose what columns. So as you can see in this case, I chose to bring the service column, the rating of the service. And I can also add, you know, a unit. So let's say if we were measuring something, I can add a dollar sign to it, a percentage. But in this case, I just chose to leave it empty. And you can also choose what groups are relevant for you. So if you're just measuring, for example, the last month or the last quarter, make sure to choose the relevant groups. So this is the dashboard. Let me show you another example. This is more of like an overview of a reporting overview. Let's see how we can also create a team dashboard. In this case, I used the table widget. What exactly is the table widget? It's a widget that brings many of your tables, so many of your boards together. So you know how sometimes you're working with multiple boards and you want to see all of those boards in one place? This is how you can do that. So by adding the table widget, you can actually see here different boards all in one place. And you can see it doesn't matter if they have different layout of columns, you can still change everything from here. And you can do anything you would do on a board. So you don't need to go one by one in order to, you know, change things or look at things on your board. You can do it from one place using the table widget on the dashboard. An amazing thing that you can do on the dashboard is also save your filters. This can be extremely useful because if you're creating, let's say, your personal dashboard, like in this example, you can filter it to see everything that is relevant to you only, and then you can save it. When you save a filter, it will be saved there until you change it to otherwise. So you can see, guys, this is my personal dashboard. What did I do here? I chose to add 10 boards that shows my weekly shift, my daily shift, but I filtered it to only show what's assigned to me. So I don't see other people. So if I'm not assigned to something, I won't see it here, okay? For example, if I'm adding an item from here and I'm assigning someone else, it will just be deleted from here. I mean, not deleted, but it will filter it and I will not see it. Some other cool widgets that we have is the battery. The battery shows you your progress. So the battery basically collects the status columns from different boards. So if you're running multiple projects or if you're running multiple teams and you have status and let's say 5 boards, you want to see what's going on with all these status columns and you don't want to go one by one. So just add the battery widget and you can see here, you know, 23% is done, 57% is still working on it. And if you want to click on it to see exactly what it is, you can of course do that. Just click here. It will open up all the boards that are assigned as working on it. And of course you can change it from here and it will be addressed here. Okay, so this is pretty cool. And of course, we have our amazing llama farm. Here at monday.com, we are huge fans of llamas. So we created this llama farm to kind of give your team, you know, inspiration, a more fun way of looking at your tasks. So you guys can see how many of your tasks are done. So that's why my llamas are green, because most of my tasks are done. But as you can see, I still have a red llama because one task is not done. And if I hover over it, I can actually see the name of the task. So this is like something we really enjoy at Monday. We really believe at making work a fun place, a happy place. So I'm really happy to see all of your responses to the llama farm. So this is amazing. Another thing you can add is a widget of your inbox. I personally like it because you can see your inbox and you don't need to go to a separate place. You can just embed it, like you can add a widget here on the dashboard. So I think this can be very useful. And we also have something I did not add here for motivational is also a quote. So you can have a quote of the day if you want to inspire your teams. Sorry, I don't know why it's not working for me right now, but you can add also another widget that shows you a quote. I think it might be here. Let's try it. But basically, it gives you every day a different quote to uplift your day. So for example, I need to listen well so that I hear what is not said. So this is kind of the thing that we believe in monday.com. It's not all about, showing your progress. We also believe that obviously we want to focus on people here at monday.com. So I think, putting some fun, inspirational things or even playlists from YouTube, from Spotify, and kind of incorporating that in your dashboards where you show your reports. We also have an example, a countdown a countdown widget. So if you're planning, I don't know, a fun day, a fun event, you can have your countdown on the dashboard. How many days are left for this fun day? So let's say we have it here. And then you'll have a countdown for this fun day that your team can always see in live. Okay, guys, so I think that is it for the part where I talk. Guys, if you need more help, like I showed you in our knowledge base articles, we have articles for everything. Just type your questions in the knowledge base and you'll have the short article and sometimes even short video that explains it. Also, I recommend going to monday.com/stories. This is an amazing site that we have where different customers from different industries actually upload a template and you guys can use it. So it can be very beneficial for you guys if you want to use and see some inspiration of different clients of us, how they use monday.com. And finally, guys, if you want help, email us. We're here 24/7. Okay, just email us at support@monday.com. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. I had an amazing time. I hope you guys did too, and I hope you learned a lot, and I hope that you got some good workflow and good ideas for customer support. Thank you, and you're welcome. All of those I can see are writing thank you from around the world. You're welcome, and just utilize it, use it. If you have any questions, please contact us. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye-bye.